Wow. Hello. Hello. What the heck is happening? Interesting. Hmm. I don't know how long I'm going to be working on this dinosaur, but listen. We'll see, okay? Shout out to Lackery for the full playthrough. Everybody go subscribe to Lackery. This is not Pokemon, but it could be, and it should be. I don't know how long I'm going to be working on Dino Man. This is actually part of my secret project that I've been talking about finally painting on stream for months. My goal this year, my only goal for 2025, is to finish my secret project. It's my only goal. Will I achieve it? Probably not. We're gonna try though. I mean, it's not that secret. You can see some of the information. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you, okay? I'm trying to paint all the enemies from the original Legend of Zelda the way that I thought they looked when I was a kid, because they've never made a Zelda game that looked the way I thought it was going to look. So that includes stuff like this. A lot of these are very close to done. They're just not done. When I was a kid, I thought that the Goriyas in Zelda were like cool Vikings with big mustaches. And then later I found out that they were like rat people, like officially. So I'm trying to make like cool rat Viking dudes. But like when I was a kid, I thought that this for sure was a Viking man. I was like, that's definitely a Viking. He's got a mustache, he's got a thing, he's got the horns. Apparently the horns are supposed to be rat ears. So, yeah. I want to finish these this year because they've been haunting me. I thought, you know, there's a lot of these that are very close to done. Okay? I just need to get them over the finish line. But I want to stick to what I thought it was when I was a kid. I don't want to take any... I don't want to use any modern Zelda stuff. I don't want to make it look the way that Nintendo has told us it's supposed to look. I want to try and channel exactly what I thought it was as a kid looking at the screen. So there's a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff. This one needs some love. This one is not quite there yet. I'll show you a weird example. Oh god, what is his name? When I was a kid, apparently this is supposed to be like a beholder, like it's a big eyeball, but it's like a sea urchin thing. I thought because this thing made the same sound it makes when you stab a metal enemy that you can't hurt. I thought it was like a giant metal ball. I didn't really understand, so like I'm gonna interpret it as like a big furnace, kind of like a living furnace kind of thing with like flames that come out of it. And the only thing that can defeat this enemy is when you play a magic whistle that's the same color as the enemy. So I thought it would be like a cool idea to have the whistle also be copper, and like maybe the resonant frequency like makes it shatter. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like as a kid I didn't think that was a beholder because it doesn't blink, and there's other enemies that do blink. I was like, okay, so it's I can see that it's a sea urchin now, but to me it wasn't. We've got, you know, some pretty simple stuff. These crabos. You know, we've got some things. We've got, you know, Octoroks. Pretty simple. And then for the more powerful Octoroks, I have to figure out what to do. So I always thought it would be cool if, like, instead of a hermit crab, it takes like a moblin skull. Look, some teeth down here. I gotta make it look more clear what's going on. I thought the reason it would be more powerful is that it's bigger, but it's also kind of hermit crabbing into the skull of another dead creature. It's like wearing it like armor. Yeah, I don't know. What else do I have on here? I've done a lot of these. Oh boy. This one's tough. I don't want it to be a mummified person. I want it to be a mummified dead moblin. So it's got to look like a big bulldog skeleton. But yeah, I want it to be like a mummified creature. I don't want it to be a mummified person. But it's this sprite up here. It's got to have the arms up. What else we got? Some of these are fairly, you know, like this one's not super rendered. Some of them are pretty, you know, pretty straightforward. This is very much, you know, Nintendo's looking at King Ghidorah. I don't know what else to show. Oh boy, it's a moblin. It's a moblin, man. What else we got? Obviously, we got some Stalfoses. Oh, this one's fun. So this is like a big fat bat thing, and when you kill it, regular bats come out of it. So I thought it would be cool to do like a giant, like pregnant bat that you could like through the transparent belly. We're gonna see some bats hatching inside of it. So like, this one's not quite done either, but you get the idea. It's in there. There's some wizards. There's some fun wizards with some metal chasings on their robes. What else we got? There's some fun Zoras. Back when Zoras were fish people. But yeah, these all need to be finished, but they are not finished. We got some, we got this moblin, who I started rendering in Clip. This is going to be the project that I use Clip to do. I'm going to take these over the finish line with Clip. So this one, you can see some of the textures from Clip. I'm using some of the watercolors and pencil brushes. So this one I've started to finish in Clip. The trick with these guys is they're very clearly holding spears in the concept art, but I'm trying to ignore that. I'm trying, because they throw arrows at you. It's the same sprite that the game uses for arrows. So I wanted to give both. I wanted to have like a cool spear, but also they very clearly, but they're big fat dudes. So I can't picture them like having the dexterity to use both hands and pull a bow and like, so I was like, okay, let's do like a really gross like orc crossbow. They can load it by stepping on the loader, and then they can just kind of like awkwardly shoot it at you. I wanted all the armor to feel like it was stolen from other things they killed. So like this pauldron is like themed after Azora, like one of the fish people. So like when you move the arm, the mouth opens up, like they pulled it off some dead warrior. And then, you know, a lot of Ganon themed stuff, like maybe they're not like craftsmen, but they have blunt objects. Maybe they're like chiseling Ganon faces into metal pieces of other things they find. Like they're scavengers, they're boar people. What else do we have? That might be all I have on this computer. There's a ton of other ones on my old computer that I have to port over. Do I have the levers on here? I do not have the levers on here. Okay. Let me go to my Dropbox and see if I have them. I've been working on these on and off in the background for for years. I started these around the time my mom got sick, and I just never had the time to do anything with them, and then a million other things got in the way. So I'd like to just get them done. Oh, come on, download. got some levers here that are very. I always thought they were. I always thought they were kind of like the graboids from fucking Tremors. And then we've got the. There's always two versions. There's a less powerful and a more powerful. So I got to do like two versions of the same thing. This one's just gonna have more gross stuff going on the inside, but they're both the same kind of idea. What do we got? Dark Knight, take darker. Oh yeah, there's a bunch more in here. There's a ton more in here. Quite a few. Quite a few. Quite a few in here. What else we got? Oh god. This one I think I'm going to redo. I don't think I'm going to keep this. Sorry, I'm trying to see what else is Oh, I have a stone Armos in here, don't I? No? Really? Oh, that's strange. What else we got? From the old computer. We got these guys. These are fun. This is the sprite up here, but I want to bring in the kind of stonework for the dungeons that are up there. I want to bring in some of the other statues that are in the game, like this fish, by turning it into a pauldron. But yeah. Yep. This, the doorway from the thing up here is worked into the chest. This, like, open mouth with the fangs and the eyes. Having it do the ball here. There's some Ganons worked in there. But yeah, there's a lot of... That doorway from the dungeon is worked into the armor up here. I've been saying to you guys for a while, I've got like 30-ish paintings that I haven't finished, and a lot of them are from this. I think I'm gonna redo this one. I don't like this. Originally I thought it would be cool to make it like a moth, and instead of ears it's like the feeler things. Because they kind of flutter. They kind of flutter around. I might keep this, I don't know. They do jump. But I might make it a little weirder. Pretty straightforward. Spooky skull. Pretty straightforward. Spooky green skull sprite. There it is. We got some slimes. You know, got some oozy slimes hanging out, being slimes. We got some centipedes with eyeballs. I might get rid of the eyeball and I might make that white ring inside the face here. I might make that more of like the teeth in a lamprey. I might make it like a big lamprey eel with pincers on the outside. But yeah, I don't know. This is all the stuff that I thought it looked like as a kid, and then after I sketch it, I go find reference that backs up the way I thought it was supposed to look. But yeah, I don't know. There's a ton more. There's like at least 6 more that I can't get because they're on my old computer. But you get the idea. These 3 I'm very happy with. No, not this one. I'm happy with this one. Very happy with the Stone Armos. Very happy with the Vire. Big Vire boy. Happy with him. Very happy with Mr. Moblin Man. Stalfos Man, you know, he's a skull. One of my favorite things is that when they had a key in the game, when a Stalfos dropped a key, you could see the key inside them when they walk around. So I wanted to do a nod to that by having it hang off the ribs. But yeah, these are... This one, I don't know, half done. I gotta get in and actually render the bones out, but... listen, I don't know. This one I gotta kind of redo, because the new Moblin looks so much better than this one. But, you know, he's a placeholder. Anyway, folks. Zelda. I love it. Anyway, yeah. Thank you. I'm trying to stick to the sprites. So, like, I didn't want to make a big white goofy eyeball, which is what that could be. So instead I want to make the bones protruding in a certain way that matches those designs. I'm stealing heavily from Monster Hunter art. I don't know the names of the Monster Hunter monsters, but I'm borrowing from... The only one I know for sure I'm borrowing from is Diablos. I don't know the name of the other one, but it kind of looks like a Triceratops. But I mean, if you're gonna borrow or steal, and you're painting a monster, why not go full Monster Hunter? I like looking at old Nintendo games because when you didn't have a manual and you just bought a game and it was very, very crude early pixel art, what you saw in the pixel might not be what the artist intended. It might be completely different. And there's a few examples of that in this series I'm trying to finish. But especially in like older Final Fantasy games and stuff with like anything with pixel art, really, like what you saw as a kid, what your brain put together might not be what the thing actually was, and what your idea is still cool. So like that's your thing, you know? That's the version of the thing that's yours. And like I want to see a Zelda game that looks like what I thought Zelda was when I was a kid. And they're never going to do it because the only person who saw the pixels the way I saw them was me. So the only way to make that happen and put that out in the world is to you know, make it. And yes, I am gonna do Link and Ganon and Zelda, but I'm gonna do them last. I have a sketch for Ganon. I have an idea for Link. I haven't started him yet, but I'm gonna do them last. I don't know if I can legally sell anything with these designs, especially if it includes the pixel art. I'm probably just going to put it out on Twitter and hope it blows up. I don't know. It's essentially a whole new concept art portfolio for me. You know, it's like I reconcepted a whole game essentially, so I don't know. Maybe it'll lead to some fun job offers. I have no idea. But I don't think I can sell it. Maybe, but I doubt it. Fantasy IX. What a game. Fan art's protected, but I don't know if I can, like, use the name Zelda. Or show the sprites, or anything like that, if I was to sell it. Like, if I made a book out of it, I'd have to avoid any official Nintendo stuff if I was to sell that book. It's probably not enough for a book, but I mean, we'll see. My goal right now is to finish it. And when I get there, you know, I'll show you how fucking dorky this thing looked before I started redoing it. Oh my god. Look at that fucking dork. Look at him. That fucking loser. We are gonna switch back to the Elden Ring stuff at some point today. This is also weird for me because I don't like rendering in color. But I'm trying to force myself to. Well, thank you, book music. Please hold. Do boo 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 boo. You gotta remember, guys, Nintendo controls Pokemon, and Pokemon is the biggest, the most expensive IP in the world. It's not Disney. It's not anything you might think it is. It's Pokemon. Pokemon is the biggest franchise on the planet, so Nintendo is pretty litigious. Litigious with all their stuff. They got the money to do it. They got that Pokemon money. extremely litigious. I'm playing with my feet. You can't see it. True. 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 I should render every single one. This is true. Thank you for correcting me. I need that ancient meme of the ancient aliens guy going every scale. Ugh. Guys, I am full of gunk today. No. Voice acting didn't start till Final Fantasy X. Unless you count the vocal samples that were in Sephiroth's theme. Technically, that was the first. And then the first song with lyrics was 8. Then there was another song with lyrics in 9. And then there was full voice acting in 10. We might not keep Final Fantasy IX on all day, but it is soothing me. It is soothing my soul with nostalgia. Yeah, 9's a great game. One of the best. True. I really want to play Sakaguchi's games after he left Square. After 9, he stopped being Mr. Full-Time Man and he made Mistwalker. I really want to play Lost Odyssey, but it's like very hard to play. It's like hard to even like emulate. Or at least I've been told it's hard to emulate. I should look into it more. No, I understand, Sharky. FF7 Rebirth is like this beautiful bowl of punch with all this fresh, delicious fruit and lovely wine and beautiful, wonderful things that look so appetizing, and it's just, you know, it's going to be the most delicious thing you've ever tasted. And then Nomura comes by with a little eyedropper of vinegar, and he just, a couple drops of vinegar, and the whole batch is ruined. And you're like, ugh, but so much of this is good, but all I can taste is the vinegar. It's that. The stuff that's bad is so bad that it makes the other stuff almost invisible. I'm looking forward to Clara Obscura Expedition 33. Is that the name of it? I'll tell you what I really want to finish rendering is Man, I really want to finish rendering this one. This one is very appetizing to me. And, this one. These two, I really want to finish. This one I feel like I could do in a couple days, because it's all just, it's gray. There's no coloring, it's... Hold on. Please hold. Grossness is occurring. Good lord. Oh. Oh yeah, I like I'm not really using Android Arts as reference. I just like that he understood what was in that doorway. I'm not using his interpretation of it where like the skull is separate and it's got the wings on the side, but I like that he understood that it was a face. Like I always thought that this little ridge here was a pig nose because Ganon, he interpreted it different. He doesn't do a pig nose, but like I like that I agree with some of it. Like I don't think this one, he intentionally makes it look like the birds from Skyward Sword. I don't think it's supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be more of a dragon, but I like that he understood the general shape of it. But yeah, Android Arts' stuff is great. This one, oh boy. He's going... That's what he's doing. You turned a corner and he caught your attention. And now he's gonna fight you. He's gonna fight you. Yeah, Android Arts' stuff is dope. I like how Final Fantasy IX is super cartoony and like kids movie coded and like friendly and cute, and then it hits you with like the most brutal character death since fucking Final Fantasy VII, and you're like, oh, this game has feelings. Really blindsides you with the whole death and genocide. Yeah, Steiner's great. I'd like to really render this area of this front leg and then kind of lose detail as it curves away. We'll see if I can stick to that. So I'm gonna go. Oh my god, cave fly. Well, I'm doing a lot of monsters in this series. Look at this monster. Wow. Look at that monster. Look at him. Look at him looking at you with his eyes. What a spooky guy. make his tail curl. His tail might go right down on the ground. It probably will. The two things PlayStation 1 did best: ambient nighttime forest sounds and crackling fire. I don't hate that. Ugh. Apologies. Bring back mobiles being save points. Bring it back. Bring it back. Yeah, I'm taking questions. What up? Oh, it's a good song. The soundtrack's full of good songs. For 2 or 3,000, I'm going to assume it's purely digital. I'd have to see the individual Kickstarter to give you an honest answer. I'd have to know exactly what you're referencing, but let's say you have 100 backers and you make $2,000 on Kickstarter. So every backer is giving you, oh my god, I'm bad at math, 20 bucks? Yes. Every backer's giving you 20 bucks for your thing. Got 100 backers, you make 2K. Alright? 20 bucks. Let's say you're even if you're just shipping a comic book, let's say it's like the lightest thing ever. Weight wise. Even if you're shipping a comic book, that's gonna be a couple bucks per person. And that's only if you're shipping it domestically. If you're shipping it internationally, it's gonna be like more than the cost of the Kickstarter. The other thing you have to remember about Kickstarter is that the amount raised includes the shipping. So if I had 100 backers and I sold a $15 item with $5 shipping, it would be a $2,000 Kickstarter because the $5 shipping for all 100 backers is included in the Kickstarter money raised. So that's another thing you have to remember. Unless they changed how they run Kickstarter, I'm not sure, but like the shipping is included in the gross on the Kickstarter page. So yeah. Many Kickstarters have gone under because they promise something and then they can't deliver on the shipping. Pun not intended. But yeah. Like, in the middle of our second Kickstarter, international shipping rates spiked. And we lost a ton of money. But, like, there was no alternative. You know, we did our Kickstarter, and we told people we were going to ship, so we shipped. But we ended up paying, you know, thousands of extra dollars in revenue lost. Because in the, you know, 6 months that it took us to fulfill, shipping rates went up, like, 20% internationally. It was right before the big COVID crunch where shipping went out of control everywhere. Yeah, international shipping before COVID was semi-reasonable. It was still expensive, but like I could send something to London for say $20, $25. Just to, you know. But now, if I send something to London, it's gonna be $50 or $60. It's really, really out of control. Let alone if I send something to, we had someone in South Africa who kept getting mad at us because every time we shipped it, the thing went missing, and every time we shipped it, it cost another $50, $50, until eventually we were just like, we can't ship here anymore. Yeah, there's some countries we can't ship to anymore because the stuff going missing, the percentage of things getting stolen or lost is just too high. Yeah, if people are shipping stuff, it's usually only domestic. I can't imagine a $2,000 Kickstarter having international rewards. But also, you price the shipping in before you launch the Kickstarter. So like, when you say like what country you're in, when you check out, like when you back the project, if you're in a country that has high shipping, the creator of the Kickstarter has usually factored that in. Like, we had to go country by country and say like, okay, this is how much it costs to ship here, 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 here. And so like if you back it, that money is already accounted for. It's not like a surprise later. Yeah, Book Music in the chat has also non-Kickstarters. Yep, shipping has become a bit of a nightmare. There is a hack for international shipping if you're doing books, but it's convoluted. If you put all your books on a pallet and you ship them to France, there's a company called Carrette that will ship your stuff internationally for the domestic French rate, because there's a law in the books in France where spreading culture is like a incentive. So they can ship books and selected types of creative arts internationally for the domestic rate of €7. So, or it used to be €7. It might have gone up slightly, but the only problem with that is you have to put all your books on a pallet and then ship them by boat to France, and then have a truck pick them up and take them to that warehouse. For us, when we did our book, it was still cheaper than shipping them all ourselves internationally by like a lot. It's about half the cost. So we actually put all our books on a pallet, shipped them to France, had them picked up, took them to a warehouse, and then had them all distributed around the world for $6. The only problem with doing that is that there's no tracking, because you're doing the domestic cheap rate. So there will be some stuff that goes missing. It will take a while for stuff to reach certain parts of the globe. We had a massive rate of things going missing, but it was still overall cheaper than if we had shipped them internationally ourselves. Do, boo, 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 boo. It didn't make it even. We still saved some money, because think about it this way. If I send a book to Romania, it's going to be almost $60 in shipping. So if I send it to France and then send it off a pallet, it's probably around $12, including the cost of getting the pallet there per book, plus the $6 shipping internationally. So I'd have to send 8 more books to break even on the $60 it would have cost to ship it initially. I'd have to lose essentially 8 books for it to break even. But then there's also the cost of the book you have to factor in. The cost of production of the book versus the sales cost. But yeah, it didn't break even, but it did definitely get very annoying. We probably won't do it again just because of how annoying it was without shipping. I think we just have to tell people going forward that if you want our stuff, we can't control the shipping rates. But also, I don't know what's going to happen with our next Kickstarter either, because the tariffs have essentially completely fucked our ability to print them. So you might not see our 3rd book for quite a while. I actually wonder, so this is a question I don't know if anyone in chat would have an answer to. A tariff in the US means that if I print the books in China and import them into the US to sell to people, I pay an import tax, I think, at the border, right? I would pay it when the ship comes in and the pallets are removed. If I printed my books in China and shipped them to Sharky in Ireland, would I not have to pay the tariff? Or if I found a distribution company in Canada and I sent them to Canada, could I get around that? Or because my money is leaving a US account, would I get dinged for fraud or tax evasion? I'm actually not sure. I wonder. I wonder if I sent them to a distributor in Canada if I could circumvent the tariff. Yeah, Ireland's still in the EU. UK's not in the EU. Come on, man. Let's study the Good Friday Agreement. I only know that because I listened to so much James O'Brien during Brexit. I wonder if I could find a distributor in China and not even have to pay to put them on the boat. Yeah, European might be better too. I'll be honest with you, chat. These tariffs have kind of completely fucked me. They've made my company pretty unviable for printing. And they have hit my stocks pretty fucking hard. Not a good time over here. Oh. Oh! Maybe I could print in Japan. I still run into a major problem though, because actually, never mind. I don't even know why I'm doing this thought experiment. I'm stupid, chat. This makes no sense. Yeah, this makes no sense. If I print the books in China and I send them to the EU, then, 60% of our backers are in the United States. I'd have to pay the international rate from the EU into the United States, and it would probably triple my shipping costs, because it would still be 50, 60 bucks, but then it would be times 5,000 as opposed to 2,000. Ugh, never mind. I'm dumb. Listen, chat, I'm dumb. Theoretically, it would open up a new market of people that couldn't afford them previously. Maybe we'd sell more internationally because it would be, cheaper, but that's a big risk. 75% of our audience is in the US. Oh boy. Is it really? Censored? That's wild. The France thing is available, but then a lot of them are going to go lost. I mean, yeah, this tariff's on him for sure. 100%. This tariff thing is so fucking dumb. Yeah, the Japan to France idea is a good idea. That's a good idea. It's not bad. I will look into that, Chase. I will definitely look into that. What do we think, guys? Do we leave Final Fantasy IX running in the background? Or do we switch over to music? I'm fine with Final Fantasy IX, but I don't know how fucking annoying this is. Or how fun this is for you guys. I have no clue. am I? Hi, Spitboy. Spitboy, I'm painting my Zelda stuff. I'm doing it. It's happening. Live on the internet. You're seeing it. Oh, I don't know. Final Fantasy IX just seemed cozy. But we will do that. I was thinking about putting Ocarina of Time on today, but Ocarina of Time is another game where even the sound effects are so nostalgic I get comfy. I want to paint. I want. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? I know you're on this list. Are you not on this fucking list? I want to do this one. Yes. I want to do this one badly. I want to do this one. This one is so close to done. This one is so stupidly close. Fuck. Fuck. Let me finish you, you piece of shit. Anyway. It's the Dan Warren signature trick to getting nothing done. Paint everything to 80% finished and then get bored of rendering and move on to the next thing without finishing anything. It's the secret, guys. It's how you get nothing done. You learned it from me. I'm going to wait till they're all finished and then post them as one big mega thread. I'm not going to release them one by one. You can see them one by one on here, but I'm not going to like put them on Twitter and make it a thing until they're all finished. Which might be never. This is my interpretation of the sprites. Are you talking about what game am I watching? I'm watching Final Fantasy IX for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, Final Fantasy IX is great. Really beautiful art style, really cool world, great vibe, great sound design. PlayStation 1 Forest Ambience. Just the best. there is a Final Fantasy IX art book, and it's one of the greatest art books of all time. It's on... please hold. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Interesting. It was on Internet Archive for like a long time. Interesting. Well, anyway, it's out there for free. You can find it. The physical copy was worth hundreds of dollars at one point. I don't know if they re-released it and cheapened it. I'm not sure. But at one point, the Final Fantasy IX art book was worth like $300 or $400. It was like one of the most sought after out of print things. Same thing with Xenogears Perfect Works. Send it to me on fucking Discord, Spitboy. Because I don't think chat's gonna let you post links. I can share links, but yeah, send it to me, and if it's the right one, I'll drop it in chat. Yes, yes, this is the one. You've done it. Here you go, chat. Yes, one of the greatest art books of all time, including the Yoshitaka Amano ideas. Yes. What a great art book. Fuck, so good. If you like robots, I recommend the Xenogears Perfect Works art book too. Oh. Yo, Pygmy. Oh, thank you. I will check those comics out. They sound pretty cool. Can I find them for free at stevelichman.com? Over 100 pages. And then purchase the full books for the low cost of like 30 bucks per hardcover. What a deal. A Steve Lichman RPG would have to be like Undertale, where theoretically you can talk to everybody instead of fighting them. Yeah, the Final Fantasy IX art book rules. Rules! Oh boy. Let's start merging some layers. It's getting a little crazy over here. Wow. 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 We've come a long way since yesterday. Wow, I did a lot in a day. I did all this in a day? What? Look at that. Look how dumb he was earlier. I mean, I don't hate that head, but it wasn't correct. I might still add the other eyeball, but then his head would be too wide. The horn should be blocking it. Wow. Not bad. For a day. Wow. Excellent. That's a really good metric for progress, actually, Spitboy. Spitboy, have you watched the series Brandon Plays Pokemon on YouTube? I feel like you'd appreciate it more than most people. For those of you who have not seen it, Kyle Bossman, who is a video game commentator guy, is a huge Pokemon fan. And Brandon Jones, the voice of GameTrailers.com, another video game media guy, has never played a single Pokemon game in his entire life. And what Kyle does is he makes Brandon go through Pokemon Red blind. And they sit down every week. I believe there's 10 episodes. They sit down every week and they talk about what Brandon thinks of the game, what Pokemon he caught, what he thinks is going on, his interpretations of it all. And he has no exposure really to the franchise at all, so it's like a completely blind dive into it. And it's very, very fascinating. The questions he has, the interpretations he has, the reactions he has. It's really, really good stuff. It's one of the coziest like YouTube series ever. Like, I watch it at least once a year, sometimes more than once a year. It's very, very good. But yeah, highly recommend. Check it out. Oh, excellent. Here's Perfect Works, guys. Another amazing fucking art book. Just incredible mech drawings and enemy designs. Oh my god, our buddy Blind got turned into a statue? No, not Blind. The coolest, or Blank, sorry, Blank who is blind. Not Blank, the coolest character in the game. So the story with Xenogears Perfect Works is when Square Enix was making the jump to 3D after the Super Nintendo into the PlayStation 1, they didn't really know how to do it because no one had really done it before. It was like that new technology thing where everyone had to figure out, okay, how do we make the jump into 3D? So they broke their people into 3 teams, essentially. And 2 of them ended up being contenders for what was going to be the next mainline Final Fantasy game, FF7. And the 2 methods they approached were, okay, there's we don't really have the skill to make a full 3D game yet on a PlayStation 1 because number 1, the console's not powerful enough, and number 2, no one's ever worked with the software before and it's too much of a learning curve. They said, so what we can do is we can put either 2D graphics on a 3D map, or we can put 3D graphics on a 2D map, but we don't have the skill yet to put 3D graphics on a 3D map. So they split into 2 teams, and they came up with 2 scripts that they wanted to do. One of them turned into the script we got for Final Fantasy VII, and one of them turned into Xenogears. Originally, Xenogears was Final Fantasy VII, though. It got switched later because they thought it was too ambitious for a Final Fantasy game. They thought it was the themes of religion and psychoanalysis and all that stuff were just too heavy, so it got relegated to a side project, and a game that originally took place in New York City was Final Fantasy VII, and then that game became Parasite Eve. So the 3 teams ended up making Final Fantasy VII, the way we know it now, Parasite Eve, and Xenogears. Xenogears, the team was so ambitious, and they had such an insanely long story that they wanted to tell that they ran out of money after finishing the first disc. So, because Final Fantasy VII was being made at the same time alongside it and Parasite Eve, Square didn't have the money yet to... Final Fantasy VII hadn't come out yet. They weren't like as huge as they are now. It was a very risky game. FF7 was like the most expensive game that had ever been made in video game history up to that point. So they didn't have the money to greenlight additional funds for Xenogears, and they basically told the team, you have to release it as is, or we can cancel it. So the team said, okay, we're going to make a disc 2 that wraps up the story, but we're going to do it as like a digital book. So disc 1, very standard RPG. Disc 2 is just reading a lot of text with an occasional battle. And to make up for that, they said, we'd like to release an art book that has all the details of the stuff and all the explanations of the game we wanted to tell, and we want to, at least give the audience what we wanted this game to be in text form. So Perfect Works, the book I linked in the chat, is 1 part art book and 1 part story bible for a game that they were not able to finish for budget reasons. So that's why it's a very information-dense book. It's because it's essentially the team's, you know, the team's only chance to say, here's what we wanted to give you, but we couldn't do it. But it's in this book. For those of you who love this universe, who love the story, here's all the extra stuff that we wanted to give you that we couldn't give you. So it's an interesting book. It's an interesting chapter for Square Enix as a company. But yeah. Originally, Final Fantasy VII took place in New York City, and it was about a group of terrorists, which, if that had come out in 1997, would have been pretty wild 4 years later. There was also themes of latent genome abilities waking up inside you and making you psychic and turning into monsters, and there was also themes of God and false God and all this stuff. And so eventually all the ideas about genetics in New York turned into Parasite Eve. They put it over there and they said, okay, all these real world things, make that a game. All these things about God and religion, make that Xenogears, and all these other things we're going to bundle together. We're going to make them Final Fantasy VII. But yeah. Disc 1 of Xenogears is fantastic. Disc 2 is rough. There's a very good video by Majular. I'll put the name in chat. It's a very good video by him explaining the story of Xenogears. It's like 3 hours long. If you don't have time to play a 35-hour, 40-hour RPG, you can check out his video. I will say that the story in Xenogears is probably the most ambitious story I've ever seen someone try to tell in a video game, ever, even today. It's stupid. It's like 20,000 years of history that you have to know by the end of it. It's pretty wild. But it's also fantastic. I think I like that tooth forward more. Yeah, I do. I do. I like it. I like it more. I wonder. Yeah, I think so. Do days pass fast for me? Yeah, way too fast. Way too fast. My days are full. I have like 0 downtime, which is nice, but also kind of terrible. I'll be streaming till 2:30, and then I'm going to the gym for a few hours, and then after that I'm having dinner, and then I'm playing Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree for 2 hours, and then I'm going to bed. That's my day. Good. Trying to get rid of that goofy little smile he had, where he's like, trying to get rid of that. He looks like a fucking Krogan from Mass Effect, who's smiling at you. Like, hey, you can romance option me. I don't want that. I don't want that vibe. Alright, taking a quick break. I'm gonna let FF9 play while I'm gone. I'll be back momentarily. Oh my goodness, I'm back. Thanks, Sharky. Oh my god, it's the Black Waltz. Why do they look so much like Vivi? Night, Laura. I'm gonna put that as a maybe. That's a maybe. I'll probably do it, but it's a maybe. Yeah, let's go more intense. Oh my god, that music. god, that music. It's healing my soul. Oh my god, how many? Oh, 20 or 30? Easy? I've done more than half of them. Well, started more than half of them. None of them are done, but a lot of them are very close to done. I think that might need to come up. Yeah, I think it does. That's easy enough. Hmm. Hey, pup. I don't know if I should make the eye glowing or not. I should probably knock it down a bit. We'll come back to it. I don't want him to be cute. I want him to be the way I thought he looked when I was a kid. Oh my god, that's a loud fucking cat sound effect. Jeez, Final Fantasy 9. What are you trying to... Wow, what are you trying to do, Final Fantasy 9? Hi, puppy. What's going on? Hi. Did you hear the cat sound effect, Eiley? Is that why you're here? You said, where's the cat? Jesus. Cats. Jesus. Who's the weirdest I ever met where I was like, calm down, buddy? This is gonna sound mean. Because he's a very nice man. And I love him. Very generous man. Very kind man. Very good soul. very giving individual. But it's Android Jones. Because the first time I met Android Jones, he was dressed like a steampunk character, and he was painting shapes with a tablet attached to a guitar strap, like he was holding it like he was a rock star, and he was painting shapes over his girlfriend or wife, dancing, and he was saying it was shape-sifting, and it felt very performative, and I was a very insecure young man with anger issues. And I was like, calm down, buddy. We all paint goblins for a living. We're not rock stars here. However, with time and age and retrospect, I have come to realize that that was the insecure Boston man in me, seeing someone who was confident and wanting to take them down a peg, when in fact, he was a very kind and talented and lovely man. Great art book. 10 out of 10. I mean, a lot of them do. If you look at Capcom Design Works, all the arcade games Capcom did, all the artwork is in there. They usually compile them, like Art of SNK, Art of this, Art of that. But yeah, a lot of arcade books have, a lot of arcade games have really great art books. You just gotta find them. Capcom Design Works is a fantastic book. Switched over to pencil tool. Why? Yeah. I feel you on the physical book thing. I need to hold it in my hands like an ancient tome. Hey, pup. You being a good pup? You being a good pup? Yeah. I shouldn't even ask. You're always being a good pup. Yeah, Resident Evil seems pretty wild. Onimusha's coming back though. Maybe the new Onimusha will get an art book. That'd be pretty dope. So glad Onimusha's coming back. In the RE engine, it's gonna look it's gonna look so fucking good. My god. It's gonna look great. makes more sense, actually. It would just fold under. Yeah, that makes more sense. There's no reason for a spike to be facing back towards the creature. It just hurt itself. That's better. Yeah, it's better. Okay. Dope airship. So many good airship designs in this game. We tried, Sharky. They kept exploding. This whole sequence is so memorable. This part of the game, the next like 10 minutes, is like burned into my memory from being a kid. This part coming up is so good. This dang dongo. Boy, I hate painting in color. Boy, I hate it so much. I think all the names in this game have French origins. Like Vivi. His name is supposed to be like life. It's a cosmic coincidence. The stream is over when the sun starts to hit my eyes, chat. That's when I know it's time to go to the pool. Excedrin migraine relief. Yum. Oh boy. Oh boy. Help me. Help me feel alive, Excedrin. This whole part of the game, so good. That's why it's called Final Fantasy. Shays. For me personally, this was sort of the end of the series as I knew it. 10 had a lot of cool stuff, but I don't know. The main character and the voice acting were so bad that it sort of became the beginning of the end of the franchise for me. Eight was concerning. It had a cool world, and it was fun to play, but the characters were very bad, and the story was extremely bad. 8 was very concerning. 9 was great, basically flawless. 9's like a perfect game. And then 10, cool world, amazing art direction, in the world design, but very, very cringe voice acting, and a very bad main character. FF7, you can play it anywhere now. It's on everything. It's on Switch, it's on Steam, it's on everything. Great story. If you can deal with the dated graphics, all the backgrounds are still really beautiful. Painted backgrounds, 3D rendered backgrounds. If you can deal with the very blocky 3D, if that doesn't bother you, it's a fantastic game. Great story. This is starting to look correct. It's starting. Pinching the face helped get it to where I want it a lot more. This part of the game. So good. So good. Waltz number 3. Oh boy. Yeah, he's definitely influenced by Orko, for sure. But remember, the original Final Fantasy had a sprite for Black Mage in 1985? 1986? 1987? Somewhere in there. That looked identical. He-Man was 70s, I think? Actually don't know. It was cheaper to take chances back then. That's what it is. They've gone on record and said the cost of making a game in high fidelity with modern graphics is so expensive that they can't really take risks. They have to sort of, they can't justify the cost on a risk. They have to cut as much as they possibly can and go with things that are more of a sure bet, which is unfortunate. All this rendering on this leg, unfortunately, kinda has to go. I'll try to save some of it. Can I? Maybe. Played by Gary Oldman, who also used to take more risks. What an insane career he had in the 90s. Hi, puppy. This needs to be more pronated. I'm straight up gonna steal this from Monster Hunter. A lot of this pose I'm straight up stealing from Monster Hunter. Interesting. I wonder why he only commissions that. It's a very specific commission. I'm sorry he's picky, that's super fucking annoying. Oh, I'll be ending the stream in a few. I can feel the sunlight coming to ruin my day. And I have a fucking migraine again. I was hoping I'd avoid it, but I have a migraine again. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh my god, it's Freya. actually disagree with that. Yeah, I think all the character designs in this game are pretty great. That 90s Square Enix really knew what they were doing. These modern day Square Enixes could learn a thing or two. Alright, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I might come back later. Not sure. I need to have lunch, and then I gotta go to the gym. And then, depending how much energy I have after my workout, I will maybe come back. But if not, I'll be back again tomorrow. But, love ya. See you soon. Excited to do some concept art stuff for a while. We will do the Elden Ring painting and wrap that up soonish. I have not forgotten about that. I just needed a fucking break. But I'll be back, maybe. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. But hope everyone's doing good. Hope everything's great. Whatever you're working on, hope it's going good. Happy, healthy, living life, you know, all the good things. Nothing but the best. I'm stalling so I can put some speculars on these scales and zoom out and see if it makes it look more finished. Stalling, stalling, stalling. Stalling, 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 stalling. Stalling. You know, just stalling for time. To put some speculars on these scales. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to do that. It's my stream. I can do that if I want to do that, guys. Alright. Yes. Yes. Let me flatten this down and take a look at what we've done today. Wow. This is what we did in the last day. Wow. Look at that. From that to that. I'm feeling it. Another couple days, this guy will be done. Wow. Alright. I'm out. I'm gonna pause this. We're gonna come back to FF9 on the next stream. Bye, chat.